For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right?
Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right. Been a weird year, hasn't it?
Go on.
No, I'm just saying, when you look at it like that over a year,
Yeah.
just a lot of stuff has gone on.
What's stuck out for you?
If you were doing your own review of the year, what would you put on the front cover?
The grub that was eating biscuits on the windowsill.
Right.
Just because it's I never thought I'd see that this year.
So
It was just I was there on the computer. I was having a cup of tea and a biscuit. I put the biscuit on the windowsill. I sort of picked it up.
why would you do that?
Why?
Why would you put a biscuit on a windowsill?
Because I'm sat next to the windowsill.
It's like something from a cartoon. I put the pie on the windowsill to cool down.
Yeah.
Oh,
And some ruffians stole it.
Yeah.
So I was eating that and I was enjoying it. Put the rest of it back down for like the next half of the cup of tea. And I saw...
Planned out. This is. I bet. Well, we read about this later in the diary.
And then I saw just like a little crumb moving. I was like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
So I looked down closer and there's an insect that is see-through, but with legs. And just sort of running off with a crumb into like a little hole. And then when I looked, I noticed there was loads of these little see-through things. And they were obviously all like, oh, we got biscuit. And
That's exactly what they were saying.
We got
biscuits over here.
but I can't, that what was it? Like I say, it was amazing because they're miles away from what I'm about, and yet
Not that far.
but they still like a bit of biscuit, and it was just weird that happened. And that's what's nice, isn't it? That's what's nice about the nature of the world. We can invent iPods, we can bring out better vacuum cleaners, but at the end of the day, you can't make nature up. And to see this see-through thing eating a biscuit, that's where I've sort of gone this year. I'd say out of anything, I've sort of gone out of my way to learn more stuff about weird stuff that's out
I don't know what you've learned. You've learned that
A creature which you can't even identify or
you
name.
don't know, right? You don't know what it is, right? Looked like it nicked a bit of crumb. I don't know what knowledge is that. What is that? How is that useful?
Just because everything is changing.
But it's not useful. It's not useful to you, and it's not useful to anyone. You can't pass on that as knowledge because we don't know what it was.
But Carl
or where
thinks,
it happened, or why it happened.
But Rick, Carl thinks that the grub has an inkling, has a taste for McVitie's in the same way that Carl does. That's why he's from Mace. He's thinking, I can't believe it. We both love hobnobs.
No, as opposed to just being taking the
He would have
starch
eaten
from the
anything.
flour.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that these things have been around for years,
Yes.
maybe longer than us,
Yes.
right? Now, their life isn't changing in the way that ours have. They still live in a little crack in the wall,
Yeah.
but they're eating biscuit, and that was never meant to happen. The squirrels in the park, because people are feeding them Mars bars and everything, they're getting fatter, they're getting bigger, they're getting more violent. Now, over time, they're going to cause more trouble than they
What
are now.
evidence have you got
What
that
do
they're
you
getting more
think?
violent?
Just because when I'm sat in the park and what have you, they really like cocky. They come up to you now and sort of jump up on the bench and sort of attack you for food. They're not happy with acorns now. They want a bit of croissant. And that's what I'm saying. They've changed. They're changing over time. Just like that grub having a biscuit. Everything's trying different food out.
He'll want a gatto soon.
Everything's getting more intelligent. The goldfish memory's got better. Chickens are more intelligent than people thought they were, apparently. Everything's... Time makes you more intelligent.
Well,
No, they do. That's a fact, isn't it? If you're knocking around longer, then you're learning more because more stuff's going on and you soak it up. And that's what these insects are doing. They're all learning. You know what I mean?
No.
I saw a cockroach playing Pac-Man. It was on the internet, right? And somebody had linked up a cockroach to some... I can't even bother explaining it, but But that's what I'm saying. Everything's moving on.
Yeah, but Pac-Man's like such an old hat game, man. It's like from the 1980s.
Yeah, that cockroach is so God. Get a life, man.
Hello, PlayStation 3. Is it
Hello.
Hello.
Yesterday's cockroach.
Oh.
Fucking hell.
All I'm saying is, I do watch a lot of insects and stuff, and you never see them wasting time. They're always doing something. An ant's carrying something somewhere. Sometimes I watch it and it goes somewhere and comes back again. You think, does it know what it's doing? But at least it's trying.
What do you...
Now, if there was a
What
big
is it doing, though? What is that ant doing?
work, it's building a house, or
what's the point? It's everything it does is pointless.
how can you say that?
It's pointless.
I'll tell you what, if there was a bigger sort of being looking over the world and they went, right, let's look at the human race. And, well, they'd look at the ants first and they go, right, they've got their hands full. They're carrying big stuff. They try to save time by carrying stuff that's way too big for them, really. They could do that between three of them, but they don't. They're all grafting hard. Then they go, right, hit the human button. They hit the human button, they watch the humans. The amount of people who are just sat about doing now, Lily Allen in London at 2 a.m. So what? What are we doing?
I agree with you, but what are you doing?
You see, the ant analogy, joking aside, I think there you hit on the fact that life is about working for what you get. And I'm right behind that. I am right behind that. I think that's I think that's absolutely true.
That's what I meant. What's dangerous is
A boiling kettle to an ant.
At the end of the day, right? Yeah, but that's evil, isn't it?
What?
You know, I mean, you sometimes make out as if I'm an evil man. We had an ant problem in the garden. Suzanne said, we've got to get rid of these. And I said, well, it's a bit out of order. They are outside. And she said, yeah, but there's getting a lot of them. She went and popped the kettle on. I said, I can't handle this. I went in, right?
What? You didn't want to see the ant thread? That's sweet. You know, they're there.
Yeah, they might be causing a problem, but I don't want to see this mess. Now, the thing is, she went out, she poured the hot water on it. I left it a few minutes. I went out, I had a cup of tea. I thought, it's a waste of electrical line. So I took my cup of tea out there, and I'm sat there, and then I just saw one come back from wherever it had been. One ant. He looked devastated. Because that had been away. As far as that was concerned, it had been out to get a leaf or whatever. Came back, devastation. And it's that's the thing. He summed up death for me. That the ants that are dead, they didn't know anything. Suddenly they were there. Next minute, load of water, dead. It's the people who are still living in life that are the saddest, aren't they? After death. And that summed it up.
What do you think?
That ant would have been better off being there when it happened.
How could you tell the ant was?
What do you think? So you
Just the
saw
way,
him,
I mean, they run around in circles anyway, don't they? But this was just kind of going, what's going on?
and what did it slow down when it got nearer the nest? Did it drop the leaf and then you see it run the last few inches?
It just kind of got close, and it was like a double take almost. Almost like it got near the hole, and then it was like, hang on a minute, this can't be it because no one's around. And then it walked on, and it went, no, it is the hole. And it went back, and it just sort of stopped for a minute.
Ah.
And that for me, that's the sort of thoughts, things that you can look at as a human and appreciate it and understand it and go, yeah, that's true, that is like life. Instead of, oh, am I awake? Am I asleep or what? No. But you might as well be asleep because you're doing nothing else.
Oh, God!
I was in the supermarket recently, just just walking past the condoms, and you never know when you're going to run out of balloons. and I was weird because the condoms in the supermarket are contained in a kind of cage, in a plastic cage, so it makes it all the more embarrassing buying them. So I'm trying to open this thing, and this guy who works there, sort of in his middle-aged guy who works there, goes, you have to take that to the checkout. So you can't open that yourself. And so I just left it. I thought, forget it, I'm not gonna take these to the counter, because you never know. It's like if you get served by a woman, it's still a bit embarrassing, particularly if that's all you're buying. Because she knows what you're up to. You're gonna fill them up with water and throw them at students. And anyway, the reason I mention this is because it reminded me of the conversation we've all enjoyed in the past, Rick, about when Carl bought for his girlfriend for Christmas. Was it a
2-pack?
A 2-pack of
Yeah, what was it?
condoms?
Wasn't it about buy one, get one free?
Yeah.
So that was a couple of years ago, Carl, the famous condom gate. Have you bucked your ideas up since then?
I just think that as time goes on, you don't sort of buy each other as many presents. As
Oh,
you
so
do.
sorry. That was a bumper year, was it? That was a hell of a. She went. Oh, I remember when you used to buy me stuff like condoms. It's gone downhill since then.
Well, no, she
your
didn't know
presents.
she was getting them. What I mean is, there's less.
Of course, she
surprises.
didn't.
That's what I mean, though. It was sort of interesting to when I gave them her and said, "There you go, open them." She was not expecting that, and as time goes on,
No, she was probably expecting a piece of jewellery or a holiday in Paris.
It's more difficult, is what I mean, to surprise someone in it over
No,
over
but
time.
no. But the surprise thing is meant to always be a good surprise.
Yeah, but don't. If you always get something good, it's like the three wise men. What did they get the second year for little baby Jesus? You know what I mean? Once he's had that gold, it's like, oh, I've sort of made it hard work for myself there. I've got to get him something better than that now. So it's best to give him the myrrh.
And next year, get him the gold.
It's like how you know how like people make a big thing out of having it away for the first time, and they go, "Oh, I'm going to do that tonight." Not the way to do anything. You won't get anything done by planning.
That's a quote. That's an amazing quote. That'll be up there with Newton and Churchill. You don't get anything done by planning. Oh, he's only going to write it down for a whole fucking year.
That, of course, signifies another reading from Carl's diary. Let's make the most of it. Let's enjoy some of the wisdom.
I
of
also
Carl
think it's the
Pilkington.
last time ever he will make an entry in this diary because you're not going to keep another one, are you?
I don't know yet. I might just get a smaller one. But I found that since keeping a diary, I've gone out of my way to do more stuff.
Well, you say that, but
Well, let's find out. Let's find out if that's true.
No, I have.
I read a bit in the news about people being injured while trying to cut open avocados. It's a food that ain't worth injuring yourself for. If it's a hassle to get into, leave it to the experts. I have never bought one. I have also avoided coconuts and pineapples. The amount of hassle to get into these things outweighs the joys they give.
Yeah.
It's the same reason I never bought a pair of Dr. Martin boots. Too much hassle when it's time to take them off.
Yeah, a lot of my mates used to wear them in like the 80s. You can't just kick them off, can you? It's a big upheaval.
You've got to unlace them.
Since I found shoes with Velcro on them, brilliant.
why don't you get it sponsored? Because you could wear a Velcro toupee. Because that would be great if we could do that. If someone could invent a little hairpiece for Carl, Velcro's the little bit of fluff he's got on the top of his head, his shiny orange-like head. Pop a little Velcro toupee on. I would love that. I would love to get him wearing a wig.
Watched a programme about the twins this morning. It was filmed 16 years ago. They are mental. They did everything together, including the backing up. Phone calls had to happen twice so they could both have the same chat, and they said the same stuff at the same time. Well weird. The bloke who I watched it with, I don't know who that is, just some homeless guys that you just invited into the
No,
flat?
just someone I've been sort of working with.
Sure, a mate of yours. He said he fantasised about having it away with a pair of twins. I don't see the point in this. If you're going to have two of something, I would prefer to have two different. Have two different women. If I had two cars, I wouldn't have the same one twice. Same rule with women. I don't even normally like buying the same pair of trainers twice in a row.
No, if you're going to have something new, make a change. It's like that fella who was going out with a woman and then left her and went out with a twin sister. Not worth it.
Not worth it!
It's not worth the upheaval, is it? Because it's exactly the same model.
My theory about reading old news is right. It's less bad when you know it's old. There was a story about a weatherman who was fired yesterday for having a nude picture of himself on the internet. But that happened 2 days ago. He's probably got another job by now. So old news isn't as shocking.
Well, old news isn't news, though, is it? It's olds. What are you doing? Just reading the olds?
No, but what I mean is if someone...
Stick the video on of last week's news. I just want to catch up on the olds.
Yeah, but then it's still news. News is something that you don't know, isn't it? If someone tells
That's
you something,
everything to you.
That's information, Carl, not news.
Yeah.
But news is information.
No,
And
the
what-
key with news is the word new.
No, I don't think it is it? It's
is.
just information, but they tell you at 10 o'clock at night. It's like, what information's gone on? Bong. here's some information.
Yeah, that you didn't know before because you couldn't have, because it only happened today. Bong.
Yeah, but never mind that. I'll tell you in a couple of days. It doesn't matter as long as you get the same info. Bong.
Yeah, we can't call it news though because it's misleading. We'd get done. It's called olds. Bong.
Yeah, but listen to me theory. What I'm saying is that if someone in your family, you know, I don't want to bring the tone down, but someone dies in your family. Now, say if you're away on holiday and they don't call you because they don't want to ruin your holiday, and you come home and they go, Uncle Frank's dead, and you go, oh, when did that happen? And they go, 2 weeks ago. Now, because everyone else has got over it, it's not as bad for you. Because part of bad news is the way everyone's walking around moping, going, oh, have you heard the news? Frank's dead. But because everyone's got over it, time is a healer. That's what I mean about old news. It's better than new news.
But according to you, the only news that really matters is stuff that affects you. So it doesn't matter when you... there was an earthquake. When was it? Yesterday. Phew, that's all right then. Often the aftermath is worse than the actual event. 2, you only care about things that actually happen to you. So the doctor goes, you got a kidney stone. Oh, when did this happen? 2 weeks ago. Oh, that's all right then. Doesn't make sense.
No, but the world is...
You're not upset about dead Uncle Frank just because other people are upset. You'd be upset personally. Would it make any difference when they told you?
Yeah, but it is everyone else's emotions that make it worse, I think. Knocking around people who are miserable.
What about warnings? What about when they do things like smog warnings or, you know, there may be a...
I don't like it on the news when they sort of say, news just in. I think, oh, what's this? You think, oh, what's going on?
But it might be useful to know it.
Important information.
No, it just makes you panic.
What? Yeah, but sometimes knowing stuff keeps you alive.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it. It's sirens, you see. I don't like sirens, do I? I've said to you, I think it's a scary noise.
Well, it's meant to be so you get out of the way.
No, it's not meant to be. It's a sign to get out of the way. I'd prefer it if it... Like I've said,
Hiya, can you just move out of the way
it can be anything, as long as we know. It can be a chicken noise. But as long as you know that
that's not
chicken
going to freak
noise...
people out.
No, but it sort of make you smile. But you'd go, oh, best get out of
You're
the way.
cycling along and you hear what sounds like a giant chicken behind you.
And you smile because you know that even though someone is burning to death, there's something clucking in my way.
That's probably a guy having a heart attack. Going to my mum and dad's today. Got there, mum and dad. His mum made him some dinner. The old woman next door, brackets, whose man was a witch. Just pop that in brackets. Just pop that in brackets. I think we've discussed that before, actually. The old woman whose mum was a witch.
Whose man was a witch?
Yeah.
Oh.
The old woman next door has been worrying because she keeps seeing adverts on the telly about changing to digital TV. She's saying she doesn't want wires drilled into her walls because they'll make a mess. My dad told her that it doesn't matter because it probably won't happen until 2012 and she'll be dead by then.
He didn't say that to her, though, did
No,
he?
he did. They've got, you know, she's old. It doesn't. She knows she's going to die. I mean, it's something we've all got in common. And he's right, isn't he? Why is she worrying about it? Maybe that's sorted it out. Put it into perspective for her. You will be dead when this happens. Don't be worrying about it.
Went to bed around midnight. Suzanne and I decided to sleep tops and tails because it made me get a bit more room. My dad had cut a bit off the mattress to fit it between 2 cupboards. It's amazing how much of a difference it makes just sawing off a bit of the mattress. You sort of roll to the edge, but the weight of the blankets keeps you in. This is like something from a Roald Dahl book.
No, it's just you know, you think anything, you can sort of trim anything, can't you? And it normally works. But with a mattress, I mean, he only took off, I don't know how long that is, but he's sawn off about that much on the mattress and then has stapled it back together again.
Amazing.
And it just makes so much difference.
Of course it does, because a mattress is a very carefully designed object.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, though, would you?
Well, you
just
would
think
if you had a
it's full of
fucking brain in
sponge.
your nut.
No.
So we decided to sleep tops and tails. It just gets stranger.
So strange. Why?
He did it to make the room nicer with the cupboards on either side.
So he sorted a mattress in half.
Well, not in half.
Can you imagine how much hard it must be to saw a mattress in half? What did he use? What, a big electric saw?
Well, it must have been, yeah, because there's a lot of springs and stuff in there.
Jesus.
So what happens to the springs? They just spring out the
Well,
sides.
some sort of stick out a little bit, but you're not lying on top, are you? They come out the side. So it's just got a bit of gaffer tape and a staple gun.
Unbelievable.
Hey, man alive. It's like...
Does he run it as a hotel? That's unbelievable.
There are squats with better bedding arrangements. The mad woman next door saw me and said, "Hello, Clive. You live in a nursery rhyme." The old man down the road, the old woman next door whose mum's a witch, Uncle Alf who lives in a dinghy.
This is like not a real place. It's like fucking Narnia.
It's a children's TV programme.
Unbelievable. Oh, God. Oh, just all of them there on this broken mattress trying to find the golden ticket. Oh, God. Oh, God. So, what's the big thing of this year? What's the big thing so far? You'll go, oh, yeah, that was the year that...
I haven't really been following what's going on because of other like personal.
Well, yeah.
issues.
What's the big? Okay, what's the
Just
big thing?
My boiler's playing up still. Sick of it.
Your what?
My boiler.
Your boiler.
The boiler that heats the water up and stuff. But it doesn't.
You know what I'd do in that situation? I'd instantly get a repairman out to sort it out.
Done that twice. It was 80 quid for him just to say, it looks like you need a new one.
Why don't you get a new one then?
Call out. Because then you wondered, are you meant to believe him or is he out to sort of...
Well,
try
he's
and
the
get more
expert.
money? Yeah, but is he? It's
Well, I
like you're
don't
meant
know.
to get a second opinion, aren't you? Like,
So that was the first time then. So what was the second time? Who came out the second time?
same fella.
And what did he say?
Well, I
What
thought
did
you
he
were going to
call
get a second opinion.
I know,
Yeah,
but
and
I
also-
called up the company and they just sent him again because it...
Well,
I
call a
think-
different
What was,
company.
what was, it,
No,
what was
no.
his second opinion? 80 quid?
I undercharged you. It's 150.
No, because they must look in the book and sort of go, oh, you know, Harry went round there or whatever, and they must think, well, he went there last time, so he knows the situation,
Yeah.
and got the same fella again.
Well,
so he
well
turned
and
up.
got the same opinion, I assume.
Same answer, yeah.
So what's his advice?
He just said, you know, there are people out there who will touch it if you pay the right money.
Well, okay, so you're going to get an expert in who does this thing and sorts it out. So,
Well, no, I called
on.
up my dad.
oh yeah,
He always knows someone who
first
can
man to
sort
come
sort stuff out. And he said, oh, one of your cousins is a boiler man, and yeah, they're coming round, but I've never met them. And it turns out that person, because like the whole family, you know, I'm not into sort of keeping in touch with people.
Sure.
I haven't spoke to my brother for like, I don't know, 12 years, and sister about 15 years and that. So the idea of this cousin, who he might as well not have said he's my cousin, because I'm not going to know him anyway. I mean, that last fella, Harry, might as well be related. So they're going to turn up, and now it turns out that because they haven't seen the rest of the family, they're going to like use this as a reunion.
oh,
What? So they're all going to come round
they're all-
whilst
They're all coming round.
he fixes the boiler.
Yeah, and I hate it. I hate family things anyway.
so they're going to come round and just look at you.
Well, yeah, apart from the one who's fixing it, he'll be fixing it, and the others will just be sat around sort of going, so, how have you been? It's like, well, where do you start? I haven't seen... seriously, I mean, they are strangers. When they buzz, I could be letting anyone in. They buzz the door.
And so you're going to entertain them all in your flat? Tiny
Well,
little flat?
I said to my dad that I might just say that I've got to go to a meeting, let them in, and then shoot off. And all it's going to do is dig up problems, innit? If my cousin was Einstein, very nice.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's
If
going to
your
add
cousin
extra
was
pressure.
Einstein, then you really are an underachiever.
No, but do you know what? If he was, I'd know about it.
I don't reckon you would know about it.
I
I
reckon
don't
I would.
reckon your family would be that impressed with Einstein.
They
He
would have stayed in touch.
He
wouldn't
was
they?
always the weird one with the scruffy hair and his tongue out.
Yeah. I remember our early ambition was to actually be educational as well as hopefully entertaining, and I feel perhaps at times we've perhaps slightly shortchanged listeners in terms of what they're learning.
Well, they're not learning anything because also, even as, compared to Carl, we are educated, but we're guessing a lot of the stuff, and he flummoxes us, sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun trying to be pompous and professorial enough just to fight Carl's ignorance.
I think we've learned more new words from Carl than we've learned anything else.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
been a lot of the made-up words, perhaps more than ever before. And also some of the most abstract conversations I think we've ever had. I mean, Carl's, as he gets older, becomes more and more
He,
arrogant and confident.
He said a new one to me the other day. There was a problem downloading, and he said they've added to the fuckerage. Which is good.
Yeah.
No, I reckon the stuff we know is enough now, and all we tend to do is find problems.
All the mysteries still in the world. The
What a prick.
mind-body problem.
What a prick.
How to save the world.
Yeah, but we know, are we? We know it's dying. We don't know how to fix it.
Not yet, we don't.
Turn your lights off.
But then we
You
didn't.
turn yours off. Just get sick of it. Leaflets through the door all the time. Turn your eating off. Turn the lights off. Living like a mole.
I love his little internal dialogues out loud. They're fantastic. The little discussions he has with himself. Oh, I can't wait till he's old. That's going to be amazing. Us three, when we're about 75, 80, he's fucking moaning. Oh, we're in a little home together. I just fucking... Fucking hell. Oh, Carl. Do you remember when you were 73? No, do I fuck?
Tell us the tic tac anecdote again.